good, everyone? My name is Graphics. Today we'll be solving this problem that says that using third angle projection, draw three views of an M24 hexagonal boat with a washer-faced head and a nominal length of 120 millimeter. Now, since we are told to draw in third angle projection, right? The first thing we'll do, like I told you earlier in orthographic views, is that you draw your four cardinal points in this manner. So if I pick up my instrument here, I'm going to draw a vertical line and also a horizontal line, right? Because we are told to draw it in third angle. Now this point here is where they meet. So I'm going to measure 10 millimeter distance away from the line. What did I mean? Is this at any given radius, not necessarily 10. I'll just measure 10 or 5, but I prefer using maybe 5. Let me try, or let me use the 10. So you measure 10 millimeter on your meter rule, right? From 35 to 34 is 10. And I'll place it here. I'll mark top, as in I'm marking top here, and I'll mark bottom, then right, left and right this way. Now in doing that, I am going to draw a line going across each of them this way, line going across this way from here to here, this way, like this, and another line from here to here, going this way, like this. And going this way also. So whenever you are told to draw in angle projection, either first or third angle, this is the first thing you have to do to get your different quadrants. Now, this point here, then I'll remove all these lines here. If you like, you can leave it this way. So this point will be where you start making your measurement. So if I like, I can clean it off. If I like, I'll just leave it that way. So let's start and see. Now, since we are told to draw an hexagonal knot, right? Now, on this platform here, you can decide to take any distance. Your hexagonal knot can stand or it might be lying down. So let's assume that it is lying down. So I'm going to take a line this way, right? Let me move it in this direction. I'm going to take a line this way, and I'll just draw an horizontal line this way. First of all, you can see away from my line. Is that okay? I'll draw an hexagonal line away from my line. Now I'll pick a point. We're told to draw M24. So whenever you want to draw a bolt and a knot, the first thing you need to do is that you draw the chamfer circle, right? And for you to draw the chamfer circle, you need to multiply the M24 by 1.5. So whenever you're drawing the chamfer circle, you multiply 1.5 by any number that's given after the M, right? Like we are told to draw M24 both, right? So what you do, you multiply the 24 in front of the M by 1.5. If it's M40, you multiply the 40 in front of the M by 1.5. So I'm multiplying the M24 by 1.5 and I'm going to be having 36, right? And we know half of 36 is 18. So I'll pick a point. Let's say this is where I want at this point here, right? So I'll take my meter rule. Let me move it a little bit to this direction here. So I'll take my meter rule, right? And I'll come here and I'll draw a vertical line at that point, just faint line this way. You can see I've drawn the faint line. Let me extend here a little bit. Let me do that a little bit from here. Okay, so we are drawing a circle of diameter of what? Of 36, and half of 36 is 18. So I'll take my rule and I'm going to measure 18 in order to get the chamfer circle. So this is 10, this is 15, and this is 18 here. Right? So if I place it here, then I'm going to draw the 18. Let's confirm that again. This is 18 here, right? So 18 plus 18 will give us 36. And I'll place it here. And I'm going to draw the circle. It should be a front line. Circle should be what? Front line this way. You can see that? Now, the next thing I'll do is to draw an hexagon across flat. Mind you, to draw this is your chamfer circle, then you're going to circumscribe an hexagon across it. And whenever you circumscribe an hexagon, you call it across what? Across flat. So if I take my for you to draw across flat of an hexagon, you're going to make use of your 60-degree and 30-degree set square. So this is the bigger version, and this is what the smaller version of it. So let me just make use of the smaller version here, right? So if I come to this point here, this is my my t square. I'm going to move it in this manner. You can see that. I'll move it in this manner, ensuring that it is tangential to my t square and also tangential to the side of the circle. You can see that. So look at what is meeting at this point here. So I'm going to do this faint line first, and I'll also move it until it gets to the other point too. Let me move this up. I'll move it here this way, and I have this. You can see that. Then the same thing, I'll now turn it to face the other way, this way also. You can see that. So I can just move it until it gets if I like, I can use the bigger version. This is the bigger version here. I'm just showing you any of them goes. So if I move this in this manner, still the same result you're going to get. This is the first. I'll go up here also. I'm going to do for this. You can see that. Now we're not taking it. So with first taking it, I'll take my set square, move it on my t square, and ensure that it is tangential to the edge of the chamfer circle this way. Then I'll not taking it, draw a line from here to here. You can see that. I'll go to that part also. I'll do the same thing from this point here. I'll draw another line from here to here. You can see that. Then I can now take in the rest. So I'm going to take in from this point to this point, from here to here, this way. After I've done that, also from here to here, from this point to this point, also from here to here, this way. Then from here to here. You can see This is how you draw an hexagon across flat using your 60-degree and 30-degree set square. If you can't really remember, you can click on this link at the top right corner here to show you how to draw an hexagon across flat. Right? Now let's move forward. Now the next thing you do, you have to project all these points, you project them down. So with the help of my T-square, I'll go to this point, I'll project it down with my faint line. You can see that. I'll go to the circle also, I'll project it with my faint line. I'll move again to this other edge here, I'll project it with my faint line. I'll come to this point also, I'll project it with my faint line. I'll come here too, I'll project it with my faint line. I'll come here too, I'm going to project with my faint line. Now this is what we have, right? I've projected it, everything towards this direction. Now the next thing you do is this. You draw a line, right, at any given distance. From one circle distance, this is the circle, to the other circle. From the beginning of one circle to the end of the other circle. So if I place my set square on my T-square, at any given radius, I'll just connect one end of the circle this way, I'll thicken it to the other end of the circle. This is what we have here, right? That's the first stage. Now we want to know the thickness. For you to get the thickness of the cap of this boat, the cap of this boat, what you do is you multiply the diameter, which is the 24 in front of the M, by what? 0.7. So if you multiply it by 0.7, what will you be having? So 24 times 0.7 will give us 16.8, right? So approximately 16.8 will give us 17. So I will just take my meter rule from this line here. I'm going to measure 17. So this is 10, 15, 16, 17, and somewhere around here is the 17 here. Now, I will now also use my faint line, just draw it out this way. First of all, you can see, I'll use my faint line and what? Draw it out first of all. This is the thick line, the faint line here I'm using. First of all. Now, you will not take your compass. The compass, you take it and you place your compass at this center here, right? And you take it to the end of this. You can see that. And you're going to draw a semicircle this way. This is a semicircle you've drawn. Now, with the same radius, without adjusting the compass, you place it at this end here, where it intersects with the center line again. And you do another one. You can see that. So where they meet, you can call this, maybe this is a point, and this is another point here. Is that okay? Now, from here, these are the point I need. This point, and this point. So I will take my compass and I'll place it at this end here, right? Then take it, adjust it to this line here, where I'm going to draw the circle from this point to this point. I'm going to thicken it. You can see that? I'm drawing this arc you're seeing here. Similarly, I'm going to place it at this point here also. And I will adjust it to this point that is meeting here. You can see that. Then I'm going to draw another one from here, this way. You can see that. And the same thing will happen here also. I'll place it here also at this point. Then adjust it also. Then I'm going to do the same thing, adjust it to that point here. Then I'll draw this. You can see that. And this is what we're having. Right? Now, you draw a chamfer. The chamfer is at an angle of what? 30 degree. Right? So you know that if I place it this way, I'll place my set square this way. When it's standing, no, we're allowing it to slant down. So like this is our 60, but in our diagram here is 30. So I'll stand my set square this way, and I'll come to this point, and I'm going to draw an arc this way to touch the other part here. You can see that I've gotten that arc. Then I'm going to do the same. I will not turn it the other way around like this. Then I'll do the same thing here also. So I'm going to be having this. You can see that. Now I'm going to thicken. Before I thicken, don't forget that the question is telling us that, look at the question again, that it has a washer faced head, right? It has what? A washer faced head. That means the head has a water faced head. So what you are going to do here is that you are going to measure 1 millimeter in. The washer faced head, you measure 1 millimeter in just from the end of this line here, and you measure 1 millimeter. So let's say from here to this point here is what? 1 millimeter in. Right? So when I do that, I am now going to thicken from this point to this point. From the beginning of this line here to the end of the line this way. Then the washer face head is always the same length as the diameter of the circle. So I'll just close here up. I'll close it up, and also I'm going to close it up. Is that okay? Then I'll do the needful, and I'm going to close all this part up too, from here to here. Then I'm going to close it up too. I'll close it up too. Right? Then I'll also close it up too, from here to here and here to here. So this is the head here. Now the next thing you do is this. From this center line, right, you're going to measure the diameter. When I mean diameter, meaning the value in front of the M. And the value in front of this M here is what? Is 24. So I'm going to measure 12 to the left, and I'll measure 12 to the right. That will give me what? 24. So I'll take my meter rule. I'll measure 12 from 0 to this point here is 12. You can see that. And I'll place it at the center point here. Center point here. I'll mark 12 to the left. Then I'll also mark what? 12 to the right. Now, I will now project it upward a little bit. Let me just take it from here. I'll take it upward to this point, and also come here also. I'll take it upward to this point. You see? So the two last line here. Now the next thing you're going to do is this. We need to know the normal length of this. The length of this in the question is given as what? 100 and what? 20. So let me measure the 120 first of all before I will move ahead. So from here, from the head here, I'll measure 120. So you see, so from here 0 to 12 is 120. So this is where it's going to end. So this will be my base here. So I'm going to use faint line and I'll draw the base here. So this is where everything is going to start from. So you measure 2 millimeter upward from here. See what I'm doing now? From this point here, the baseline, I'm going to measure 2 millimeter upward. So this is where the line is here. This is 0. This is 1, 2 at this point here. So this is 2 millimeter here. So from that line, I will just draw with the help of my set square. I'm going to connect it this way. So that is where I'm going to draw my 45 degree. So from this point, I'm going to draw it 45 degree this way. You can see that. Then I'll go to the other point also. I'm going to do the same thing too. 45 degree too. From that 2 millimeter up. You can see that. So from the 2 millimeter and with the outside part that I measured. So I'll just stick in the base here. You can see that. So from here, I will take in this part here straight up to this point. And from here also, I'll take in this part up straight up. You can see that. Now the next thing you do is the thread length. Now sometimes this thread length varies according to the length of the bolt. If the length of the bolt is up to 125, you're going to be using 2D plus 6 millimeter. If the bolt is up to 200, from between 125 to 200, you're going to use 2D plus 12 millimeter. If the bolt is over 200, the length of the bolt is over 200, you're going to use 2D plus 25 millimeter. The D there is the diameter, that means the D, the value in front of the M. Is that taken now? Because this is 120, so let's say the closest to what? 125. So you're going to use what? 2D plus 6. So it will be 2D plus 6 means 2 times 24. That is what? 2 times 24, that will give us 48. 48 plus 6 will give us 56. 54, right? So I'm going to measure 54 from here. I'm going to measure 54 from this base upward here. So measure 54. This is 50, 54 is somewhere around here. This is 54 here to this point here. Right? So at that point, that is where I will draw a line crossing it this way. Right? And I will now take the same 45 degree and now take it up to meet it that way. Is that taken? So I'll take it up from that line here, this way. And I'll come here also, I'll do the same thing here, this way. You can see that. So from that line is what we are going to take up here. And from here also, so we're going to take up there. You can see that. So that is the length of the threading. You know, if you look at your screw, there's something we call thread. Thread is where the turns you see that ensure that the bolts and the nuts can easily come together. Call it fastening. So you can see that. So this is what we have here, right? So this is how you translate that question. Now we have successfully drawn the bolt, right? This is what the question is telling us to draw, but we're not told to draw it in third angle. Now to draw in third angle means that what? We need to draw the three views, which is the plan, the front elevation, and the end view. Now, because I placed my front elevation here, if I place my plan, I'll place my plan here, right? I'm going to what? Place my plan here. So in doing that, I'm going to project all these points in this manner. I'll just project all this in this manner. Project all this in this manner. All this in this manner. And this also in this manner. And this too. So the good news here is just in drawing the plan, this is what we are going to see. Let me show you. When you draw this out, this is what you're going to see. You can just take any distance from here. Any distance, given distance, you just draw this way. Let's say this is where we actually want here. Now you're going to draw your circle. You draw the circle, the chamfer circle, right? We know very well the same thing that is here that is applicable on the other side too, because it is looking it from this part here. We're looking it in this direction here, right? So I'll place it this way, and this way. This is how we get the circle. You can see that. And I'll replicate what I did here. I'm going to replicate what I did here. Faint line. And that one again. Then I'll turn it. Turn it this way. So I'm going to thicken it. So when we've done that, if you notice very well that you cannot see all this, right? So what I will just simply do is that I'm going to draw a circle this way. That is this from here to here, that you're not seeing this part here, which is this here. So I'll just draw this. You can see that? Now, that is what you'll be seeing when you're looking at it from the top. So like I said earlier, you place your set square on your T-square, your 45-degree set square, and you get the center of your line, I mean this center here, and you draw your arc at an angle, your line at an angle of what, 45 degree, right? So when I draw it, I'll have this way. Now you place it perpendicular to your T-square. At every line, you draw your horizontal line down to meet this. You can see that. You come here also, you draw a horizontal line down to meet this. You come here also, you draw a horizontal line to meet this. Now you're not going to project all those lines with your set square or your rule, project them, and they'll be coming towards this direction. And also this one too, towards this direction. And also these two towards this what? Direction. Right? Now, at this point here, you draw your line from here to here, you thicken it. This is from this point, the same thickness. Right? I'll just thicken this way. I've taken that. The next one also, I'll do the same thing too. I'm taking it, right? Then the thickness, I can just use my compass. I'll measure from this center here, since it's the same material we are drawing, to this point here. I'll place it at this center here, and I'll mark in this direction and also in this direction. So what we have will be this. So from this point, that will be the chamfer. Yes, the washer. And to this point also, and this point also. Can you see that? Then I'll close it up. Then close it up too. Now, you take your compass, place it at this center here with the radius of the end of this, right? And you draw a semicircle this way. Sorry, you draw a semicircle this way. This is a semicircle here, right? So where it's from the end here, now you now place your compass. First of all, from the center, you draw a semicircle. You go to one end, you draw your line to cut the semicircle. Go to the other end also, you draw your line to also cut semicircle. So these are the 2 points you use to get what I'm about to draw now. So when I place it here, I'll go to the topmost of this line, right? And I'm going to draw this. I'll come here also, the topmost. So I'm taking it. This is what we have here. So that is what we have there, right? So this is the end view here. Now what I'm drawing now, if this I'm drawing here is up here, it is in third angle. This is in first angle, like this, the way you're seeing it, right? If these two here are below and this is up, then it will be in what? In your third angle. But let's proceed. Now the same thing will apply. Whatever I've done here, I'm going to replicate the same thing just like this. This is what I'll be having. Does the same procedure. I know that from here to here, right? I'll come to the center, I'll mark from here to here, right? Now I'll use my front line, I'll take it up, I'll take this up also. Now 2 mm, I know that from here to this point here is 2. I'll just use my, just draw it down, no need of stressing yourself. Just use your set square and your t-square, you project this line down this way, right? And doing that, you'll be having measure from here to here. You just anyhow you want to do it, ensure that what we did there earlier, you replicate the same thing here. So I'm just trying to replicate what I have there so that to save our time. So I'll just join from here to here. Just replicating it. So this is what we have here. So this is what we are through to reproduce. Is that taken? So if you want to know how to construct your boat, this is the boat, and you want to know how to construct a knot, you can just click on this link at the top right corner of the screen, right? You can also close it up, and here also you can close that up. Do the same thing here too. Then there, right? Now, if you have found this video helpful, please don't forget to click on the subscribe button.